It is Wednesday, and I didn't reset that. There you go. Woo! There we go. It is Wednesday, and you know what that means. It is time for the Greg Cherry Show. Greg Cherry, alongside Josh Mansfield. You've been on the show before. Everybody knows who you are now. Lot to talk about today, too. Yeah, a lot to talk about today in the wrestling world. We're going to talk about the major news that broke this past Friday. And of course, why can't it happen on like a Wednesday or something so that I can talk about it when it's fresh? Like we've had a couple days to talk about this, but now it's, we know the deal. Vince McMahon retired, but today WrestleMania 40's location got named. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
So I'll see you there.
Hopefully, I don't know if I'm going to make WrestleMania 39. Really depends on a number of things. But since WrestleMania 40 is in the same state, I'm kind of hoping to make it there.
My buddy Tyler and I, we were talking earlier, and we're like, this is definitely doable.
Yeah, because
so we're kind of excited.
It's about 5 or 6 hours from where I'm at in Philadelphia is. So
That's
it's
6
not
for us.
Yeah, it's not terrible. But hey, it's a much shorter commute. I'm not so sure how the weather's going to hold up in Philly, but that'll be interesting. I don't have to wear a rain parka and like a heavy hoodie or something for WrestleMania, but
it's not domed, is it?
Lincoln Financial, I do not think is domed.
Oh dear.
Hey, they ran in MetLife twice and it was fine.
Yeah, then they went to Tampa, and what happened there?
That's fair. I don't know why they wouldn't go. I don't think Lincoln Financial has a dome to it. Yeah. Like I looked at this earlier, and I'm pretty sure Lincoln Financial is has the open stadium like a whole bunch.
Yeah. But yeah, lots of wrestling news to get to. Vince retired on the day my phone I didn't have my phone because my phone decided to crap itself the day before, and I still didn't have a new one by then. So that was fun. That was fun finding out that way. Like a lot of news broke or stuff happened, and my phone decided to not be cooperative.
Yeah.
And of course, WrestleMania 40 in Philly. That's the only good thing going for the Eagles.
Hey, they won a Super Bowl not that long ago. It was 4 or 5 years ago they won the Super Bowl. So
you being nice to the Eagles, what does this world come to?
Well, listen, it's not my love for the Eagles. It's just the fact of the matter. Like I don't love the Patriots, but they've won Super Bowls recently. So it's
screw Bill Belichick.
I mean that's true.
As a Browns fan, especially on principle, which if we get a sports talk, I have a little bit of a rant.
We'll get there in just a little bit. I want to talk about Vince retiring because I really hope that it's not just like in name only that he retired. I'm kind of hoping that he's actually not involved with the company anymore.
From what it's sounding like, from what I've been reading from Sean, and from WrestleVotes and from everywhere else, and especially because of what the SEC filing went, he had to get rid of a lot of his stock and his shares in the company because of the financial scandal. Like he had no choice.
Yeah.
So he's gotten rid of a lot of that. So
he's apparently not a board member now either.
No, of course not. Triple H and Stephanie are firmly in charge. While they may pander on TV and praise Vince because Triple H is firmly in control of creative now, and that's going to be a thing. Like, I'm not happy with Riddle and Rollins being delayed till Clash at the Castle, as is being said. Yeah. But if the reason is because we're getting another Seth Rollins surprise opponent, then that'll be okay-ish.
Yeah.
But Triple H is said to be looking to make a, quote, splash in creative at SummerSlam. Only if it makes sense. And
I mean, SummerSlam is like the perfect. It's not really the halfway point between like seasons because like WrestleMania was 3 months ago, so it's not really the halfway point. But it really kicks off the new like direction towards WrestleMania
yeah,
stories. So I'm hoping that something big happens and that it doesn't backfire. You know what I mean?
yeah, I agree. It's definitely being showcased as Triple H is in charge. Now, Raw was written by Vince on Thursday. They just didn't have a chance to change anything, and I think Triple H wanted to leave it as it was. Monday will be the clean slate.
Yeah, I figure like SummerSlam is Triple H's first real show. Like he might have something to do with SmackDown, but he's probably just finishing out everything Vince started so he can just from SummerSlam on go to it.
Go. Yeah.
Which makes sense to me. Damn it to hell, Clash at the Castle is the same day as Notre Dame, Ohio State.
What? Ah,
Now wait a minute.
seriously.
Now since it's in the UK, maybe it'll start earlier.
It'll be during the day.
I'm hoping because if it's during the day,
what time is our game? And again, for those of you who
Notre
are
Dame,
not
Ohio
aware,
State, that's a night game. It has to be a night game,
right? For those of you who are not aware, Greg here is a big Notre Dame guy. I am an Ohio State guy. So we differ on our college and pro football teams.
Yes,
but at least we agree on our wrestling.
We do. Yes, it's a 7:30 game for Notre Dame, Ohio State.
Clash of the Castle better be at like 1.
If I had to guess, it would be at like 2 or something. Unless they're doing like a tape delay thing, which would be garbage because, they can.
They haven't done that when they've been in Saudi.
That's what I'm saying. It wouldn't make any sense.
Thank you, Cool Brothers Radio Podcast.
What's up, Cool Brothers Radio Podcast? Hey, listen, I don't have anything against Buckeyes. I mean, hell, Jesse Davin was on Jack of All Trades on Thursday, so I clearly don't have anything against people who root for the Buckeyes.
See, I root for both, not just when they face each other.
The problem is, like, Notre Dame's track record against Ohio State is not great.
It's about as good as what Michigan's has been the last 20 years.
Didn't Michigan beat Ohio State this year?
Yes, let's not talk about that.
Yeah. I was going to say. But I'm hoping, since Notre Dame's head coach was an Ohio State guy, I'm hoping that Marcus Freeman, like, brings some of that energy. I don't know if energy is the word I'm looking for, but, like, it might be. But I hope
sort of like
that mentality. That's the word I'm looking for. He brings some of that championship winning mentality to the Irish that Brian Kelly just kind of coasted on reputation alone. I hope Marcus Freeman goes the next mile. I want to see an Irish championship in my lifetime. Culture is a good word. Thank you, Cool Brothers.
Yeah. Speaking of Ohio State, for those of you who are old school Ohio State fans and love Jim Tressel, I am sad because he announced about a month ago he is retiring as a president of my university. And I am sad. To a point. But I love him. I've had great conversations with him multiple times. He introduced me to his wife as one of our, quote, student leaders. So...
Well, there you go. I'm excited for the football conversations to pick up here because training camps have started. We're getting close to the preseason. I am ready for some freaking football in my life. The draft.
Got a fantasy draft.
Yes, the draft is what? That's a Thursday, correct?
Let me check.
September 1st, I believe, is a Thursday. That's our draft.
Well, yeah, I believe so. Let me check to make sure what Tyler set it at.
All right.
But back to what is on the screen still. With Vince retiring, he had no choice. This was not a voluntary step down.
No, but you know what? It's very much welcomed.
Oh, I agree. I mean, did you see my column up?
I have not had the time to read any columns. I
You're
read all
good.
the work, brother. I'm sorry.
You're good, brother. But no, basically, the fact that we are saying words that 15, 20 years ago we never thought we would say, that being, let the reign of Triple H begin.
Yeah. During the
Is-
Ruthless Aggression era, we never would have said that.
That's
By
exactly
the way,
what I
happy
said.
birthday, Triple H.
Yes.
Um,
Hey, and Vince retiring, no, it was Triple H being named in charge of creative. That was a great birthday present for Finn Balor, wasn't it?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I
First ever
mean,
Universal Champion.
I feel like the black and gold NXT people are going to be treated even better. Did you see Ciampa's promo? It was like on Raw Talk or whatever, but there was clips of it floating around on Twitter. And man, I hope Triple H just lets Ciampa like go off.
I mean, I hope we get a Ciampa and a certain potential mystery opponent for Mr. Rollins together again here soon, but we'll get to that.
I saw Triple H's tweet that Rollins might get another opponent for SummerSlam, so that's interesting.
My thoughts are either it's one of a couple people. Either it's going to be AJ Styles, it's going to be the Usos' brother from NXT.
Oh, Solo.
Either him or someone from NXT. Or it's going to be Gargano.
Or
I don't think so. I think they said he's out for the year, for the rest of the year. I don't see Orton coming back that quick. He's good at healing up, but he's not seen a level healing up.
The thing is, like, here's an off the wall prediction too. Back to Orton real quick. WWE likes to over exaggerate their injuries because they say Cody's going to miss like up to a year or something.
We know that's not going to
We know damn well he's winning the Rumble.
Well, I will be honest. Cody being brought back was a Vince call. Out of everyone on the roster right now, Cody is the only one who I'm genuinely potentially concerned about their push. I don't give a crap about Theory. Theory can be Triple H's sacrifice as far as I'm concerned.
Here's the thing, though. I know that Cody like took a lot of shots at Triple H. Don't you think that Triple H would have respect for Cody for wrestling through a similar injury that Triple H faced?
Yeah, I agree. I think that their respect is there, especially from what vague things Cody gave us, from the fact that the last person he saw before he went out at Mania was Triple H. Triple H made a point to come see him. I'm not sure. Like, that's just the one thing I'm like hesitant about.
I feel like
we'll
Cody
see.
Will be fine. I feel like Cody will be fine. I do want to address this in the chat, Richard. So, to get on a future episode of Jack of All Trades, I do ask several people beforehand to do so. I do not have August episode filled up yet. So, the quickest way to guarantee a spot is to spin the wheel. Because I'll bring it up, even though I don't have a donation yet. Not that I've seen come across my dash anyway. Why are you giving me all that? Here we go. So I'm going to share the screen real quick. And you're going to see all the stuff on our lovely little wheel here. Once it pops up. There we go. So, there's spinner's choice. But right there, Jack of all trades contestant is a spot on the wheel. Now, there is a spinner's choice on the wheel. However, that spinner's choice cannot be redeemed for the shot at the WTC title or the Jack of all trades contestant. You have to specifically land on that spot. And one of those spots was taken.
Poor Brett.
Poor Brett. Like he tries so hard. He actually got spinner's choice. So like last week. So the fact of the matter is like the quickest way to be on Jack of all trades, if I don't contact you to be on, this is the quickest way to do it.
Mm.
It really is, because I like to give the opportunity out there to people who have not competed on the show before, and also to some people who have. But
yeah, Jack of all trades is an interesting little bugger.
Yeah.
Now for the tag team one, definitely one of these days, you got to get that tag team back together of me and Andy Dadson.
If I could get a hold of Andy to recompete on the show, I'll see what I can do. But Dwayne Atkinson a few weeks ago actually earned his spot into the August Jack of all trades. Ooh. So it's not out of the question that it could happen, because it has happened before. So if you want to guarantee your spot, or at least give yourself a chance to get that spot, you take a spin of the wheel. So that's all about that. So yeah, Vince retiring is, I hope creatively we see some changes that desperately need to be made, because if Vince isn't in people's ears screaming out commentary lines and allowing the commentators to be themselves, I feel like we're going to see improvement from everybody around.
Right. I mean, did you see, you said you haven't read much lately, but there was something that came out, I think it was Fightful, that did like a whole thing on Vince backstage, and especially on how he had been in creative meetings and just been off the wall, incoherent, not getting things. So
sounds
Vince
like Biden.
Being, what?
I said sounds like Biden.
Yeah, a little bit. Or the other one before.
Basically any politician.
Yeah, pretty much. Wrestling is real. Politics is a work. Buy the shirt.
I'm working on a new shirt in that same vein, so keep an eye for
Ooh,
that.
Nice. But the fact of Triple H being in charge, it looks like there's already going to be more stability. Bruce Pritchard is now basically just reduced to a writer.
Good.
And Vince is gone, so Bruce can't kiss Vince's ass anymore or claim loyalty to Vince and have that stick as anything. What's interesting is the SummerSlam tryouts today is who WWE sent, which might give an indication of where Triple H is going with creative. And if he's going this way again, I am very happy, because this man should have never been removed as the executive director of Raw.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman.
I'm really hoping that Paul Heyman has some more creative input. I'm sure Triple H will listen to Heyman, because Stephanie and Heyman's relationship is way better than it used to be.
Right.
So
if only the relationship with Shane was better. Corporate.
It's got to be better than Vince's.
Oh my gosh. Vince saying to Shane, "You will never get another pop as long as I'm here."
Maybe Shane was the one who did it, because he's like, you know what? Listen, old man, I want to be back in the ring, so I'm gonna throw you underneath the bus.
See,
I have that little lockbox, motherfucker. Here it is from the WrestleMania 32 storyline. That was the lockbox.
Well, no, Vince has the lockbox now. Remember?
Yeah.
In storyline. But see, I think corporately, business-wise, Shane and Stephanie's relationship and Triple H is still family-wise, I think they're pretty solid. I mean, Triple H and Steph went to Declan's high school graduation.
Yeah.
and we saw those pictures. But corporate wise, especially when Triple H gets rid of Kevin Dunn, because Shane is actually close with Kevin Dunn. How, I don't know. That's my only criticism of Shane.
Yeah, like no, Kevin Dunn needs to. Him and his 97 camera cuts a second need to go.
Kevin Dunn needs to be fired live on air for Owen Hart.
Yeah. My prediction is Johnny Gargano will be the opponent for Rollins. It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's going to be at StarCast.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a possibility.
Very much so. It still feels weird knowing that we are in a WWE without Vince and how quick it came.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we all saw it was coming, but at the same time, no one ever expected it to actually happen.
No.
Most people would have expected the streak to end first before Vince leaving.
Which it did.
Yeah.
By a few years, but yeah, the fact that Vince is gone is I hope, like, I feel like from SummerSlam to WrestleMania is really going to be the litmus test for what we can expect, because we can't base it off of one show. Like, people are trying to judge this regime based on Monday Night Raw alone. It's like, you can't do that. We don't know what this is going to bring. We might have, like, maybe NXT 2.0 kind of reverts itself back to the black and gold. You never know. Like, maybe they redesign a logo or something like that. But they seem to want to track back to the indie wrestlers and make it.
Triple H does. That's always been Triple H's MO.
Mm-hmm.
And now him and Stephanie are in charge. He doesn't have Vince to stop him. And go to Richard's comment real quick, if you could.
With Vince gone, do you think Martha will be open to working with WWE, or is that ship going to be forever gone? If anyone
could do it, it's Triple H.
If anyone could do it, it's Triple H. I mean, he brought San Martino to the Hall of Fame, and Bruno said for years that he would never be involved with WWE again. Since Vince is gone, if they wanted to try and, because Triple H and Owen were close, so it's a hard thing to say. I am not Martha Hart, and I know that their family will forever hold on to what happened Over the Edge in '99, which I don't blame them, honestly.
No, not at all.
You can't blame
Not at all. So, and especially Kevin Dunn. Especially heartless Kevin Dunn.
Yeah. I feel like it's one of those things where once Vince's regime is out of the way, there's more of a chance of it happening. I just don't see it as going to happen. I don't. That's not my call, but I feel like this is something that they're going to stick to their guns. They want Owen honored in wrestling. They just don't want it to be with WWE. I understand that.
Right. But if anyone can actually try to fully extend that olive branch with the necessary apologies and concessions, it is Triple H.
If I was Triple H and wanted to do something like that, here's what I would do.
First, fire Kevin Dunn.
Well, that would be long gone by then. I would offer Martha Hart, like, all the money that they bring in for the Hall of Fame goes directly to the Owen Hart Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if they do it like they have been doing, which I think they're going to, is do it after SmackDown. All the money that you make for that SmackDown / the Hall of Fame goes straight to the Owen Hart Foundation. For that year alone, if you want Owen inducted.
Yeah,
So that the
because you'd
WWE
have
doesn't,
to.
so that they
You'd
don't
have to make
profit
Owen
off
the
of that.
primary inductee. You would have to make him the primary inductee that year.
Yeah, because Martha's biggest thing is she didn't want WWE to profit off of Owen Hart. So
Right.
if Triple H made that concession to say, hey, we're going to donate all the money that we make tonight for ticket sales to the Owen Hart Foundation if you allow us to induct Owen Hart in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
That would be it.
Well, there's one more thing. WWE would finally have to announce the creation of the physical Hall of Fame, because that has been Martha's other major gripe about the WWE Hall of Fame just in general, is because they have no building. She's even said it's just something to make money. It doesn't exist. Those are her exact words. If WWE finally made a physical Hall of Fame building, I definitely think that would go a long way. In addition to what you said, to donating to the Owen Hart Foundation, that and making sure that there is finally a physical Hall of Fame, I think those two together, with Vince's regime out, would be a good, at least, starting point.
Maybe that could be something they add into the Performance Center. I don't know how big that building really is. So, because you figure the Hall of Fame would have to be either in Florida or in Connecticut. And really, who wants to visit Connecticut? So
I mean, it would be good for the Connecticut, economy. I mean, if you've watched the WWE Most Wanted Treasures, the warehouse that they have is huge. Like,
I had an idea. Make NXT return to Full Sail and make the Capitol Wrestling Center the Hall of Fame.
Ooh.
Problem solved.
I agree, Richard. That's what I kind of thought too. Maybe that'll happen with the second season. I mean, I feel like that Triple H has said the idea is not for them to come, for the fans to come to them, but for them to get the stuff out to the fans. I get that, but at the same time, I feel like there needs to be a physical Hall of Fame with at least some memorabilia in there. You can still bring stuff, of course, to access and everything else, but I feel like they do need to eventually do that. I don't know if that was a Vince saying no before, or if it was never discussed, or what, but that definitely needs to happen. And also, on bringing this back full circle, Vince should also never be allowed in the Hall of Fame. I don't care what his contributions to wrestling are. If everything coming out and that will still come out, is as, quote, damning as is being said, no. Just Vince's name is going to be not dragged through the mud, since he's already doing that himself, but just solidifying him is just no.
I don't think he'll get inducted till after he passes.
Yeah.
If he does. Yes. Because Vince has said for years, he doesn't want to go into the Hall of Fame.
Right.
So, in that instance, do you respect his wishes to not go in the Hall of Fame? Because, especially after everything, I don't see Vince getting inducted into the Hall of Fame next year, because that would be terrible. I like people's ideas of Paul Heyman going into the Hall of Fame.
In 2024, yeah, I agree. Yeah,
because that's going to be in Philadelphia. As far as LA, it's probably going to be The Rock. Kind of has to be.
The Rock or Batista.
Batista's another possibility, especially because the Hall of Fame will have fans.
Definitely not Cena yet. Cena should not go with The Rock.
If WWE ever does WrestleMania in Boston, then probably Although I don't see them going to Boston. I feel like Gillette Stadium would be way too cold.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Um, so for those just joining us, feel free to do a wheel spin because I know we like doing them on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I want to throw this out too. I'm going to throw it on the screen too. What do you guys, not only donation goals, but what do you want added to the wheel? What do you guys want to see from this show? Because we've had similar stuff on the wheel for the longest time. What do you want as like a special space added to the wheel? Because I want to mix it up a little bit.
I got an idea.
What's up?
You get to make a 5 or 10 minute appearance on the Greg Cherry Show.
I mean, I could do basically like a, hey, you can call into the show.
Mm-hmm.
Here, let me add that. That's something I had toyed around with for a while. What am I taking out? I have to take.
Don't you dare take out karaoke.
No, I have. I might take out one of the karaoke spots, but there's
Boo.
three. There's three of them on the wheel.
But karaoke's the best.
So call in. Call into the show. There you go. On the wheel. The call into the show is now, and I spun the wheel accidentally. But it's fine. It's off the air. Nobody cares. Oh, look at that. It's the WTC title shot. I'm kidding. I'm
if
kidding.
Brooke was here, he'd be so annoyed.
He would be so annoyed to be like, really? I missed my shot? No. Colin
So
is now on here. I might. Hold on. I'm going to replace one of the, to tell the truth. I'm going to put two spots on here. Oh,
So as Greg works on the wheel, did you want to transition to training camp?
Yeah, we could talk about training camps. Not a whole lot happened as far as Steelers training camp goes. Minka Fitzpatrick has a non-football injury, so that's concerning. And Tyson Alualu has swelling in his knee, which is also not great. I mean, we don't need to lose defensive players. So drives me nuts. How's Brown's training camp going?
Well, we had to practice inside today, but there's a picture. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, there's a thing I want to rant about, and I don't know if you've seen it yet. You're going to be happy if you have or haven't yet, but
I really haven't been paying attention to a whole lot.
Rooney has made it as a finalist this year for the Hall of Fame. Your guy.
Nice.
Art Modell made it as a finalist. Clay Matthews didn't.
I wonder what exactly qualifies somebody to make the Hall of Fame. Like, what is their voting?
I don't know, but the fact that Clay Matthews is keep getting snubbed while they keep trying to put Art Modell in this, as a Cleveland fan, you want Art Modell to words I can't say live.
What's up, JB3? I sent you the link too, brother, so you can come into the video and join us if you wish.
But do you want me to send you this picture to put up, or?
I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay. Well then, let me just do it this way, because this is so beautiful.
The Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb. I did see you post that earlier.
The fact that we are finally getting Chubb and Hunt together at the same time on the O-line, that's bad news for anyone facing us. That is bad news. because we have been wanting that combo for a long time.
The Coach Contributors Committee's list of finalists has been reduced to 12. Art Rooney Jr. Hey, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Edie, do you think that what TK says today on Busted Open Radio is afraid to lose them? For context, Tony Khan said that Adam Cole and Malachi Black are signed with AEW through 2027. I bet since the change has been made that people would be happier going back to Triple H's WWE because WWE is still a bigger promotion than AEW as far as like worldwide recognition. So he probably, and it's interesting that he named 2 former WWE guys and not like AEW originals. You don't think that Triple H is going to poach some AEW originals? Like I would sign Ricky Starks yesterday if he was available. You know, it's like.
Don't think MJF is going to want to get his butt out of there?
Imagine if MJF faced Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. Like, can you imagine that ridiculousness? Nobody knows anything about MJF's contract situation. I need to subscribe to Fightful Select at some point so I have any idea.
I don't have money or I would. I'm sorry, Sean.
No, that's perfectly fine. Hey, look who's here. It's JB3.
Hey. Yo. Check it. I don't have a lot of time, but
okay.
I seen that you have, you know me. You said suggest a donation goal reward. So correct me if I'm wrong. This is for like your monthly donation goal and then the reward that will happen.
Yeah.
Okay. So this comes full circle. This brings me up to, I don't know, last week or the 1 week before, people were complaining about title shots. And I remember that anonymous message and I was like, man, I wonder if he thought that was me. And I was like, no, because I've told him my feelings about that to his face multiple times and even live on his show before. So I'm pretty transparent with that. Me and you've talked a lot. So my suggestion revolves around the title shot. So here, check it out. I would say for the time being, maybe for the month, maybe take the title shot off of the spinner completely. Put something else on it. I don't know, another way to humiliate yourself, you know, for people's pleasure.
Yeah.
Their viewing pleasure, whatever that takes. But donation goal, how about you set a goal, whatever the number is, and whoever, if the goal is met, whoever is your top donator will get a title shot.
I think Brett Storm wants to hug you now.
Because you know damn well Brett would be my biggest donator. Well, how about this?
If somebody out donates them, I'm just saying they'd have.
I will go one step further.
Okay.
And this is really putting myself in like a suicide situation as far as being champion.
Oh gosh.
If we reach, and I'm going to set the goal relatively high. If we reach that certain goal in August, not only will I defend my championship, but I will defend my championship in a gauntlet match. I will start at number 1 and run through 9 or 10 people.
So the least donated to the most donated?
Possibly. And maybe even people who don't donate. I want to bring in, like Sat Inyongi on Jack of All Trades mentioned Will Washington. I can bring in Will Washington. And whoever ends up at the end of that gauntlet as the final winner is the WTC champion.
Oh, snap.
Did you just read my mind? Because I was thinking that exact same idea of having it be a gauntlet, but I didn't have a chance to say it yet.
You should probably cap it at some point so you don't have to have like a 30-person gauntlet.
Yeah.
It'll probably be a 10-person gauntlet, honestly. But even still, that's still a ridiculous thing to do. And I would organize it so it's in one big giant live stream. So you
want to know something, Greg? That you doing that right there, no matter what you said last week, you doing that right there, no matter if you win or lose, will shut anyone up about you giving out title shots.
Damn straight.
Yep.
Now,
That's fact.
Jeff Meacham, if you're watching, when you watch this, my sympathies and prayers for you, buddy, with all the questions you got it right
I'll
now.
help him. I'll help him.
Yeah,
I can help with that.
JB3 can help him.
Yeah, why not?
But there you go. Let's set the goal at $300. If I get $300 in the month of August, I will organize. And you know what? I want guys like Will Washington. I want guys like Sean Ross Sapp in that thing. I'm talking like I want big name people who know a lot about wrestling. I don't want just like straight up wrestling trivia guys. I want to like expand past WTC, past CWT, all that. Like I'll bring in Sat. Like I'll have Sat face me. That's fine. Sat's a double champion and jack of all trades. Why not have him? I want to bring in as many people as possible to this. So $300.
But what about the donation? Like, where's the cap there? Because, like, let's say, obviously, if like one of those guys didn't donate and they wanted to be in the title shot, you'd probably still let them be there. But what about the cap for numbers on like the top 5 donators will be in the match or something like that?
How about I replace the title shot with being a gauntlet participant? So that way, like you can get a $10 spin and be in the gauntlet.
Okay.
If it happens.
What about top donator?
I mean, top donator, I'll consider giving the spot to it. I mean, it's only fair.
Top donator gets to come in last.
But if it's one and the same, they only get the spot once. They can't get a spot twice.
Yes.
Because I mean, you think about it, top donator. If you got, you're talking about auction mentality here now.
Yeah. So like, I'll do that too. Why not? So. And we can really start that right now. We only got about 15 minutes left. But if we raise $300 between now and August and the end of August, I'll put my title on the line at a gauntlet match. That's perfectly fine with me. And I'll set a date to get everybody together for the live stream, and we will just run through wrestling trivia, and maybe we'll like raise money for something. I don't know.
Yes,
maybe it'll be
that's like a great idea too. That'd be the cap. That capped everything off right there. For that special show, any donations could be something cool, like something.
How about?
I like that, Greg.
Yeah.
I have an idea. We'll do. How about for donations? Part of it for the Owen Hart Foundation. The other part for Connor's Cure.
Maybe
AEW and WWE.
I mean, can you do that? Well, whatever. Yeah, whatever. If whatever's possible.
I mean, whatever. We could also like donate more stuff to Jesse.
Yeah, that could be discussed, right, Greg? You probably got to think too. You got to put some thought into that too.
Yeah, the charity thing can like we're just spitballing ideas. We don't have a charity kicked out.
That's the whole thing.
So there's the donation goal from now until the end of August. If we raise $300. I am putting this championship on the line in a gauntlet match. Whether I end up as champion remains to be seen. I've been champion for 1,600 days as of today. Exactly 1,600 days. So this is basically my Everest that I have to climb because I am putting myself in the first spot. I am not taking the coward's way out of being, the 10th person in the gauntlet. No, I want number 1. And I welcome all challengers. So there you go.
In the words of WWE official Adam Pearce, it is official.
Yeah. Well, I like that, Greg. So I'm glad you dug my idea, and I'm glad it manifested that. So I'm going to go ahead and get back to what I was doing. I will bid you both adieu. Thank you for having me here. I will continue to watch live on YouTube, and I'll be in the chat. So thank you, and see y'all later.
See you, JB3.
See ya.
So there you go. I mean, it's a monumental goal to achieve, but What did I just do?
Hey, you never met your goal for when you had to wear brown stuff.
No,
so
I never did. But
I
300,
was sad about that.
300 is a lofty goal. Like that's going to take some doing.
But if people want a title shot, I can see Brett having some fun with this. I can see Dwayne having some fun with this. If we can get, Denise Salcedo, maybe. Oh, and I just want to say I'm so proud of her. She had her first Adam Blampier style YouTube wrestling list on Parts Fun Gnome the other day. And she did really good. I'm so happy for her.
She did. And hey, she's getting married this weekend, so good for her. So yeah, I really don't know what else to say, but
what the hell did you just do?
That's pretty much. What did I just do? Because I'm going to have to put my money where my mouth is, as far as. And Jeff's going to be super annoyed because he's going to be like, now I have to come up with 300 questions. Be like, yeah, you do, bitch.
Jeff's going to be like, this is what happens when I'm not here to stop things.
Yup. Hey, you want to call off 2 hours before the show, Jeff? This is what happens. So yeah, $300 starts now till the end of August. And here's the thing, and this is not to get out of it, but I just thought of something. There might be a week in August where I do not do this show because my wife is scheduled for a surgery. So we'll still try and reach the goal, because through that and through Jack of all trades, we'll try and reach that goal. But the opportunity, and I'm going to change that spot on the wheel now for the title shot, because I want that to be incentive.
You're going to regret this the second you click off the stream, and you know it.
I regret it now. But since it's out there, I can't take it back. Like, there's video evidence of me saying this, so it's not like, and you're a witness.
Just gonna beat you upside the head when he watches this.
We need more ideas of stuff that's going to be on the wheel, because if I end up doing this gauntlet, it's going to kick my ass.
Oh boy. I gotta see those messages when Jeff watches this and finally messages you.
I'll message him and be like, I might have done something on the air. Don't be mad at me.
I'm going to have to see those messages, because I'm going to laugh.
Here's the thing. I have to reach the goal. And that's not up to me. That's up to everybody watching who wants me to put that championship on the line. And next week, I'm going to make this announcement now. Double Jack of all trades champion Sati Niyangi is going to be in studio. So if anybody, he wanted to push for Will Washington and I to have the one-on-one match. If you want anybody to sell the idea of, hey, I'm going to put my championship on the line in a 10-person gauntlet, so that might be the guy to push that. But nonetheless, what else happened? I heard Kenny Omega wants to jump ship to WWE. That'd be interesting.
Honestly, I've seen him in AEW. I don't get him. I mean, I prefer him over Hangman Adam Page. Page is just blah. I could care less about him. It'll definitely be interesting to see who of AEW people jump ship.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people unhappy in AEW, but will Tony let them out of their contracts if they want to jump ship?
Right.
That's the probable no. Because I found it funny. He named specifically Adam Cole, Malachi Black. Out of anyone in AEW that was the most loyal to Triple H is Adam Cole. bar none.
And you figure like guys like Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland, like I know they're the tag team champions right now, but
Triple H made Keith Lee.
Those were also guys in NXT.
Triple H made Keith Lee in NXT.
I wonder like how many character changes people on the roster are going to go through
to get them back to normal.
Yeah. Like, I wonder if Dijakovic is going to be Dijakovic again. And not
it looks like LA Knight's going to be LA Knight again, because apparently one of Vince's last decrees was to take him out of Maximum Male Models because he doesn't like him. Because, again, Vince doesn't have a clue what the flip he was doing.
Yeah. Which I think a lot of people would be happy that LA Knight would be on the main roster and not. Of course, he might go back to NXT as LA Knight. Yeah. You never know.
Yeah.
Really depends on where he's needed.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. But if I can see anyone trying to get out of their contract, and who would you see are the top 3 people that would try to get out of their contract? Now, because Sean wasn't saying that people are actively trying to or actually want to jump, but that they have said if what happened this past week would have happened before, they would have stayed and not gone to AEW. So who do you see could tell Tony, I want out, and jump back?
I don't really know, like who in AEW. I'm not sure what kind of contracts they're signed to, so it's hard for me to even speculate, but imagine somebody, and it would be hard for AEW to let them go, but imagine somebody like Britt Baker in WWE.
I can't see her wanting to jump.
But here's the thing, like, under a Vince regime, she might not have been able to continue her dental practice. Under a WWE regime with Triple H,
that's possible.
I feel like Triple H is going to be more for the talent than Vince was.
Oh yeah, because he was a talent,
and he's in talent relations, for crying out loud. So
yes,
that is his job. Laurinaitis is gone.
Hallelujah.
Yes, praise be to God.
Sorry for the Bella twins, who have to deal with him as their stepfather, though I wonder how for much longer.
I hope the Bellas kick his ass.
Oh, yeah. I honestly, I'm about to say something I don't think a lot of people ever expected to ever hear or be said by anyone. But I watched the Bellas WWE biography on AEW. The amount of respect I have for them went up 200%.
Yeah.
The fact of how much they were actively trying before the women's revolution to get to the women's revolution. Because even during them, we just saw them on the side of the, preppy model divas. That isn't what they wanted even then. And it was the Bellas' call that of just hit the finisher, be done with that one match that started the hashtag Give Divas a Chance. The Bellas really are the catalysts of the women's revolution. Flat out.
Listen, if Sasha and Naomi came back at SummerSlam, I would be happier than a pig in mud.
I definitely feel like all the titles are going to get a resurgence under Triple H.
I hope so.
Because he is, if anyone can get Io Shirai to stay in WWE, even though, as I think it was Meltzer said, she's already basically almost out the door. If anyone can get her to stop and stay, it's Triple H.
Well, if Triple H
he will bring her to the main roster now. And the fact that Vince didn't want to, You're insane, Vince.
Io Shirai's main thing is she wanted to be on the main roster. And now if Triple H is leading the charge, I think that option is more likely. We'll see how talent adapts to the whole changing of the guard, the whole regime change, and just don't assume everything that happened on Monday Night Raw is going to be how things go. I feel like I said earlier in the show, Triple H is going to close out all the Vince storylines and start his own. Okay. SummerSlam is like WrestleMania 20, where it all begins again. So, okay. Josh, I'd like to thank you for being on the show because we are a couple minutes out from Dynamite, and I'd like to get everybody over there watching it. So keep watching AEW, keep watching WWE now that the regime has changed. Keep watching the Greg Cherry Show. I have a goal set, and I'm going to be plugging that really hard over the next month. We'll see what happens. Will I defend my championship in a 10-person gauntlet? That remains to be seen. I do like the idea of doing a charity stream for that, though, where people can just tune in, watch some fun wrestling trivia, and donate to the show. Curtis Butler says the Subway Series is better. Well, once the Yankees start getting their heads out of their asses, then yeah.
Oh, screw the Yankees.
We're out of time. I'm a Yankees fan, and you know that. All right, Josh, thank you for being on the show. Everybody go check out Dynamite, and we will see you all next week right here on the Greg Cherry Show. Have a good night, everybody. Don't be a jag.